আমরা কথা বলছি ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর যে প্রতিনিধি দল বাংলাদেশ সফর করছেন সে দলের দলনেতা লেফটেন্যান্ট জেনারেল অবসরপ্রাপ্ত SPM ত্রিপাঠীর সাথে।
We like to express our wholehearted gratitude to the Indian Army and the Indian soldiers who have sacrificed their lives for the sake of the independence of Bangladesh. Sir, people usually sacrifice their lives for the sake of their motherland, but it was very unique when Indian soldiers sacrificed their lives for the sake of the independence of another country, that is for Bangladesh. So what was your motivation?
We are neighbors. One can choose friends, but one can't choose neighbors. And therefore, as neighbors, we saw that the Bangladesh, then the East Pakistan people, were fighting a war of independence much before the Indian Army came in. And that fight was an unequal fight of the mighty Pakistan Army, who were very tyrannical to local people, who did not consider the local Bengali people as part of their nation and carried out untold misery on them. That was one point. The second point, that a lot of Bangladesh people had to run away from their homeland. And in that winter, from March 71 till December, they had no place, no shelter, and it was over 5 to 10 million people who were living in misery. So it was decided that as a good neighbor and as a country which had the highest regard for Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, we decided that some help must be provided to this country, and Srimati Indira Gandhi, then the Prime Minister of India, decided to take action. That was the main reason to come. There was no thinking on her part of any other thing excepting to fight with the Bangladeshi people against the tyranny that was perpetuated on them.
Muktijuddha was a people's war. Farmers, laborers, students took part in the liberation war. And not only you fought, you also trained the Muktijuddhas. So what was your experience to train them?
Basically, it was the fight by the Bengalis, by the people of Bangladesh against the tyranny. And we were there to help. Indian Army is a very professional army, and in order to make them capable of fighting this tyranny, we had to train people. And therefore we trained Mukti Jodhas, we trained other people, and also provided them arms. And this war started much before the 3rd of December, when we had to come ourselves to help these people fight their war of liberation.
In which region did you fight, and what was your role, sir?
I am from the Armored Corps. That is, we had tanks, and we had heavy tanks. Heavy tanks are very difficult to move in Bangladesh because of the riverine terrain, paddy fields, they don't move very well. But my regiment, less one squadron, was fighting from Hilli, going on from Balur Ghat to Hilli, on to Bogra. We went up to Bogra. One squadron of my regiment came from Kancharapara to Khulna, and one squadron of my regiment came from the east, Agartala, through Comilla, up to Dhaka. So, as a regiment of 63 cavalry, we were in all sectors of the Bangladesh. My own experience was that we had difficulty in moving in Bangladesh first, but then our drivers and our commanders found out ways of how to move in this terrain. And we moved about 300 kilometers from Hilli, going up north, coming behind Hilli, and then on to Palasbari and to Bogra. Bogra was captured on 15th, and this army there surrendered on 16th.
You had some fierce operations. So would you like to share some of these operations with us, please?
The first fierce operation was in Hilli itself. Probably you know that Hilli is half in India and half in Bangladesh. And 4 Frontier Force Rifles of Pakistan Army, which once General Manik Shaw's battalion was also, was in Hilli. And we tried to fight through them, and they held very well. So we had to go round to the north and come behind them. Meanwhile, the infantry fought them. We came from behind, and when they surrendered to us in Bogra, the commanding officer told me, "You don't know what you have done to my battalion. We had 1,100 soldiers. Today, we have 300 soldiers alive." So it was a very fierce operation, fighting on for 4 days. Thereafter, we met successive a place called Khetla, which we captured, which again was a very fierce operation. And quite often, we were in the tanks. In daytime, we had to lead, and it used to be really, in one case, the commanding officer of an infantry battalion was in my tank, and my tank was hit, and his hand, he was putting like that got cut off. A commanding officer's hand getting cut off, so I had to withdraw the tank behind, evacuate him, and then continue with it. But after 7-8 days, the Pakistani army knew that they can do nothing to Indian army, and Indian army will continue to advance. In 4 corps coming from Tripura, direct to Dhaka, again, the first 4-5 days were very fierce, but after that, they were withdrawing, running away, and we were chasing them. Along with that, there was so much of terror of Pakistan army to the normal man that in the beginning the normal person did not come near us. But once they saw that Indian army cannot be stopped, they came, they gave us information that here are the mines, don't go here, go this way, and this way the operations went on. We had plenty of casualties, tanks, 2 or 3 tanks were burnt, but we continued with that. Not less than 550 soldiers were killed.
In that operation. How did you enjoy the company of Mukti Bahini?
Oh, we enjoyed it very much. They were full of josh, and they were fighting for their independence. So their enthusiasm was tremendous. And once they came to know that we were secure, that there was an Indian army behind us, then they became more aggressive with the Pakistan army. And it was a great pleasure to fight with the Mukti Jodhas.
You fought for Bangladesh in 1971, so at that time you were in Bangladesh. So after 4 decades, almost 4 decades, you were again in Bangladesh. So what is your feeling? What are the changes you are observing here?
Our feeling was one of great expectation, and the whole 15 officers who've come with me, all of them feel that in 40 years, 39 years, from a completely devastated country, you have come a long way. And as I said, that you can change your friends, but you can't change your neighbors. And this neighborly relationship should continue. What we saw today is full of promise. But what we expect is that the next generation and the next generation must continue with the same feeling. Because one thing I want to definitely stress, that on 16th of December, we were ordered to leave Bangladesh. Mrs. Gandhi had no feeling that she should even have 1 inch of Bangladesh or anything to be given to her for the contribution that she had made. The same feeling exists today. Thank you so much.